trust nobody. Good and bad thoughts on my mind, they be crowded. Pushing to get past his limits, then he see he bought it. Family worked hard, but I never guess I'm found it. Came a long way in my dream, now I be drowning. They dying, I hear got some hearts pounded. Multi talented, my passion, I haven't found it. Yeah, in my home, I was never ever doubted. I'm here from a bad place, oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays, all in next to be seafood. I always said this is that I'm staying around.
Good evening to each and every one. It's a boy GSC Garvan with the one and only Ken back in the building again for you guys. We got some Reggae Boys and some Jamaican schoolboy football. So how you doing, Ken? The show is yours, bro.
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. Welcome to everyone. Welcome. Uh, Today I want to talk about the Jamaica schoolboy football and the Reggae Boys in their recent match. So yeah. So we start off with some games that played on Saturday. We had the first one we had was Black River versus Little London, where it finished 5-0. Grangeville versus Mannings. Mannings, the only team to win all of their games in the entire Dakasta Cup, 8 out of 8. They secure a spot in the second round, finishing number 1 of Zone C. So yeah, we have Cornwall College against St. James, finished 0-0. Herbert Morrison versus Irwin High, 2-0. Herbert won. Malden versus Greenpond, 1-1. Nakalva versus Cambridge. Cambridge managed to win the match 5-1. Green Island versus Russies High School. Russies won 1-0. Anchovy versus Froome Technical. Froome Technical won 3-0. Lacovia versus BB Coke. BB Coke won 10-2. Magati versus Newell 4-2. Denmuir, recent Champions Cup winners, 2-1. Lost 2-1 to Garvey Maceo. Old Harbour versus Kemps, 1-0 Old Harbour. Central High versus Lennon High. Central won 3-2. Denby High versus Clarendon College. Current title holders for the Dakasta Cup lost 2-1. And Stets versus Monroe College, where Stets won 2-2. Where Stets won 2-1, sorry. Only 7 teams still remain undefeated in the Dakasta Cup. Froome Technical of Zone B, Mannings High School of Zone C, Spot Valley of Zone D, Christiana High of Zone G, and last season Ben Francis Cup winners McGraw High School and Port Antonio High of Zone M. With the second round now approaching, not yet confirmed, but approaching, you have a few teams that are through. Christiana High, Bellier High, Cornwall College Central, Brownstown defending champions Clarendon College, Black River, Dintil Technical from Technical High. Last year Ben Francis Cup finalists, and they lost 1-0 in the final. Yeah. So current top scorers, the Costa Cup. Stevan Spence from Technical, 14 goals, 3 assists, with Happy Groves, Chevron Miller, 12 goals and 7 assists. Stevan Spence now on a roll in the Costa Cup last season. Finished second in the top goal scorers chart with 25 goals in 15 matches with those 3 assists. Yeah. Um, Ty, Ty,
Welcome to
you
the
here?
show, Ty.
Yes, I am here. Just listening to the results.
Uh, have you watched any of the Costa Cup? Big up, I definite night. Big up. Have you watched any of the Da Costa Cup matches recently?
Um, not no, I haven't been able to watch them because, for one, availability at the times that they usually start. I've seen glimpses of them. Obviously, I would have watched a bit of Froome playing and Brownstone. I have there's actually three schools that I'm very much keen to watch. Well, four actually, four. Um, Froome is one of them for obvious reasons. You know why, Ken. Gravel would know why. Manning's another one. Um, because of certain connections. Brownstone High is another one as well. Uh, well, funny enough, my father is the coach for Brownstone High, so I have there's certain teams that I'm interested to see how they do. I heard you mention in terms of the results, the top goal scorer so far, and all of that. And it's interesting. There's some teams that are losing. The teams that would have been deemed as favorites, in some matches, they're the ones that fall short. And there are some results that were very close. So yeah, it's interesting. The results, but I haven't been able to watch, sit down or to actually see a match in full. I've just seen glimpses here and there because the time that they usually starts, I'm not really available.
Yeah. Clarendon College, former winners. Like you mentioned, some teams losing some matches that they are expected to in Clarendon College, not winning all of their matches, but losing a lot of players after the season. Some signing for colleges, some going to England to play. Yeah. Uh, Now let's talk about the Jamaica game. Or Ty, did you see that game or watch any highlights of that game?
Yeah, yes, I actually watched the game. That's so I'm not completely unprepared. I actually saw that match. It was good. It's positive. The manager wasn't really an option that a lot of Jamaicans or even the supporters of the Reggae Boys were ecstatic or elated to know would be coming in, because they're saying he's somewhat of a failed manager. So, but yeah, I mean, I've seen a completely different way of playing from the team. They don't play the same. The movement, the passes are, it's some of them are shaky, but the movement is better, especially for the way that they score the goals. It's impressive, very much impressive. But yes, the match. I don't know. The squad was is completely different. For one, I didn't see a player that has frustrated me in the attack a lot, which is Nicholson. He wasn't in the squad, I realized. And it was better because in previous games, it was a case where he was always colliding with, if Mikel Antonio was playing or anybody that was up there. It's always him, and he'd not be able to deliver. But the attack had more fluidity. They had players like Demari Gray playing and all of that. So there was more fluidity in the way that they're playing. Obviously, the game wasn't easy because, um, sorry, their opponent was able to get a few opportunities in, and Andre Blake was called into action a lot. I remember in the second half, for example, he had to make two saves. He had to um make the save. He went back and then he took another shot and he had to hit it over the bar. So it was an entertaining match. It was one of the better matches. And if I'm being honest, in prior years I wasn't really excited to watch Jamaica. But since I saw the start that they've had under the new coach. It's a positive. As I said, the way that they move the ball now, it's completely different. They don't make as much errors as they used to. As I said, there's still some shaky moments. Sometimes the passes don't go off, or sometimes they may hesitate on the ball or allow their opponent to get back into shape. To the opponent's box quite easily a few times, but they weren't able to score. But they created more opportunities, and the results could have been even better if they were able to be more clinical.
Yeah, great match. I managed to watch that part of it, and to me, it was a good game. We had possession a few times. The midfield playing very well. But credits to Andre Blake in the goal, making some crucial saves. But yeah, I realized that player jumping back into the squad, and not only in the squad but straight into the starting 11. Tyreek McGee. Ty, do you have any thoughts about that particular player?
Oh yes, yeah, that was actually very interesting. It was something that would have been highlighted a lot on social media as well. I I don't remember where I saw it, but there was a post that came out about McGee's back in the camp. Well, yeah, it's good. I mean, he was on the scene a while back, and then for some reason, he wasn't able to get as much opportunity as it was before. But it was good. I mean, as you said, he was able to get back into the squad, and not just into the squad but into the starting 11, and his performance was very impressive. And as I made mention of the way that the team played, especially in the upper positions of the team, it was very positive. The movement of the ball, especially when he was playing on that right hand side, it was positive. A lot of the creativity was coming from that side more than the left. So it was a good decision for him to not only be in the squad but to start, because it paid off a lot. It was crucial in the win being gained.
Yeah, Jamaica I think is currently 3 out of 3 in the Nations League, if I'm wrong. Uh yeah, Tariq Wagi,
Oh,
great player,
well,
since 3 out of 3 are no.
it's it's two wins and one draw, but they're undefeated. So in terms of that,
Oh,
yeah, they're the only ones.
yeah,
Well, no, I can't say that.
yeah, good.
In the top three, they're the only ones to have to be undefeated.
Yeah, yeah. Tariq Magi a player that everyone looked as a great player, since playing in schoolboy football, a great player, I think he won uh the Lancaster Cup already, or the Manning Cup, I don't remember which one, but yeah, a class player like that back in the squad, had his ups and downs, uh fall off, as I would put it, but he's getting back his career back on track. Yeah. Um, let's talk about the manager though. First game in charge, first win. Ty, do you expect many more wins from this manager, or is it just a moment that he will Shatter.
Ah, um, actually, I think so. I genuinely think that I think there will be more from him. I mean, as I said before, he when it was said that he was the option, I know a lot of Jamaica. There was an outcry. A lot of Jamaicans weren't for it because they're saying that, oh, depending our local coaches to, which to me was kind of foolish because, in all honesty, they needed somebody that understands being for not being from the country per se, because quite a lot of the players prior to now were players who were from who were English born Jamaican or they have Jamaican descent. So it, it it was something that I for one was open to. I mean, I wasn't keen on him because I was saying there's other persons, but taking into consideration the fact that the football federation has had its, it's back and forth in terms of the finance and, the investing in the team itself, or the teams, not just the men's team. But that's something for another day. I think it will get. I think it will continue to be good. I think it will get better because there have been players coming out already saying that they can credit him for helping in them developing even further. Because the defense was actually, when I said that I was seeing a difference in the way that the team was playing, I meant in terms of the entirety of the team. The defense was more resolute. The fact that if they lost the ball, they were trying to get it back. If for example, their opponent was coming down with the ball and trying to get into the box. They were trying to be resolute. They were defending well. That is something that was completely different. And Ethan Pinnock is a player that a lot of people respect and they value in that team. He's one of the better players in terms of on paper for the team, but in terms of how they did as a unit, it was positive. And I think it will continue to be like that. Obviously, there'll be other tests that really put him there, and you'll have to see what his capabilities are in full and how he was able to adapt to not being the favorite or having a quote unquote other games where you have to take into account what will happen. But what I find so strange is that we we we've noticed that Jamaica tends to do better when they're not on home soil. That's the strange thing, because most of their wins so far have been when they're playing away. Yes, they lost to Ecuador in the Copa America, but they won against Honduras in the first match, while in the second match rather um away, and the first match against Cuba in a draw. So I'm interested to see what happens because they're playing tomorrow against Honduras again, but they'll be on home soil. So I want to see what happens there. So I found it strange. That's something that I noticed because when you're the away team, I don't know if it's the underdog mantra. I don't know what it is, but we tend to do better being the away side. But I think we'll continue to develop. It's not perfect. There's still some errors, as I said. There's some things that need to be ironed out, but that will come with time and bits of focus and ensuring that you have a good strategy. So I think he's done well. I mean, expect
Um, yeah. The manager. He's been without a job for like what 4 years before managing the Reggae Boys. He recently managed what Queens Park Rangers, where he only managed them for one season. But since then, without a job, you know, uh, we're first time hearing about him when he joined as a manager, it was a bit surprising, but I'm hoping for some results. I know many people are hoping Jamaica can make it to the World Cup one day. So do I. I believe and I hope that one day that we will make it there. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up today's little mini show. You know, not really a lot to, but
Before you guys wrap up, what you guys think about Omar Hutchinson switching Legion back again to England?
oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, um, Ty is gone, but yeah, recently was seeing rumors of him joining the Reggae Boyz, and I was hoping, a class player like that, he would have an impact on the team. He's a great youngster. But then recently, when call ups were being held, I saw him being called up for England's under 21. I know it's the academy, but still, I was expecting him to join the Reggae Boyz. I don't know if it's just for the academy level that he's, or the under 21 level he's going there, because I know even though you can play for their under 21 or so, you can still change nationality. But I don't really know what's the story behind it. But yeah, you have anything to say about it?
Yes, I'm sorry, my bad, my bad. Something wrong with my mic, so it sent me out of the stream a little bit. Yeah, what I normally was saying with Omar Hudson's situation, I know that he was using the Jamaican national team, to his advantage, just like what he did with Chelsea, and the same thing he did with Arsenal. Is a player, that have a big 0505. Sorry, he got a big ambition. So I think for me, it's one that he wasn't gonna play for Jamaica. He was just buying his time because he believed in his talent. So he was just buying his time to go play for the England national team. It was just for the England national team to recognize him and try to pull him in before the Jamaican national team done. So it was a case where he was using the Jamaican national team just for his advantage for the for to get called up for the England squad. That's how I look at it. Can I blame him? No, but it wasn't a good look because it's give the Jamaican national team a lot of hopes. But I think that players gonna always do what's best for their career, in my humble opinion.
You're muted, or Ty.
Yes,
We were
Ty come back, so
discussing
I
the.
think Ty have
Oh, you're
something
back.
to say on it.
Ty, we were recently discussing the Omar Hutchinson
Yeah,
switching national, representing England instead of Jamaica. What's your thoughts?
yeah, yeah. I was saying I was actually backstage for a while. I was actually hearing what was being said. Um, but yes, yeah, similar to what Garvan said, I do believe that it's a case of the player thinking that he's Right? He believes in his talent, which is there's nothing wrong with that. But I never believed that he would really cement his allegiance to Jamaica. I mean, it's been about 6 months or probably more of back and forth with him. Every time it was international break, it was a case of he'll be called up and then he's saying that he's not coming because he's focusing on. There was always some excuse being given, and then the more it continued, I said, "Nah, he's not going to really give that guarantee that he's going to." And as you mentioned, Ken, you can still switch your allegiance back to another country despite playing at the under 21 level or at the youth level, which it's fine. And I mean, looking at the pedigree of, for example, an England over Jamaica, and what could give you the recognition, ideally he would want to do that, seeing as how it's his that is his parent country. That's the country of his birth. So it's not surprising, but it's similar to what I could perhaps say is that using Jamaica as a stopgap, try to as he tries to convince England to give him the opportunity. It, it's it's kind of crazy, but it's the choice of the player. Um, I do believe that this is one of the reasons why a lot of Jamaicans or supporters of the Reggae Boys are always more keen that you give the native footballers, because we do have players who are actually talented. We see that from the schoolboy level, and some get that opportunity of a call up, or they end up going to the Premier League, or they go to the what we tend to see. So I mean, it's better you do that. I've always believed that there's nothing wrong with having players who are of Jamaican descent or have some level of connection to Jamaica and are eligible. But I think it's better you work with individuals who are from the country, because the likelihood is less. There won't be a case of, oh, I can represent England because of this. You'll have those rare occasions where, for example, if their parent is a native Englishman or from Spain or whatever, but the possibility is less because it's not. But I mean, I never liked his attitude. It's similar to what he did to Arsenal, and the reason why he even ended up at Chelsea, because he believed that, oh, he was not getting an opportunity at Arsenal, and his talent was too good to be playing for the academic level. And at Chelsea, it was the exact same thing. He wasn't given that level of freedom to say that, oh, you're very good, and because you're an exceptional player, we're gonna take that risk on you and give you the opportunity. So I mean, his attitude is kind of dodgy to me. I don't like his attitude. As I said before, there's nothing wrong with you having confidence in your capabilities as a player, but at the same time, you need to balance it, and you need to realize that you have to prove yourself, and doing little tricks here and doing footwork and showing that you can be a, a, a skill man doesn't mean that you are guaranteed to get the opportunity that you're so in need of.
Yeah, and big up DZ first of all. But yeah, seeing something like this happen, you like look at the current like the Mason Greenwood entire thing. You would see Mason Greenwood, link with Jamaica also, due to him not. I don't know if him not going. I don't think he's going to represent England at any point for the rest of his career. But him not him being linked to Jamaica for a while now. Seeing something like this with Omar Hutchinson, I'm wondering if that will be the same case with Mason Greenwood. Because Greenwood class player, but due to that situation, his career got a bit on pause. But hopes of him joining Thai. Anything to say about the whole Mason Greenwood rumor to Jamaica national team?
Well, you basically covered some important points there. I don't know if I don't think it's a completely different situation to Omari Hutchinson because with that there's nothing about his character in play, and judging based on what the supposed um beliefs and the morals that national team has. As you said, I'm not sure that he would be able to um, get that chance to represent the country, England, at the highest level again. I mean, anything is possible. You can't write off anything because what he does in his spare time or whatever he supposedly did, that's his business. What he does on the pitch is what wins you games or can help you win a game or get a result. So um that you can't never say never. You can never say that may not happen.
And when you talk about young Jamaica native players, you have to look at players like Kaim Dixon playing for Clarendon College. Right after the season finished in the Lancaster Cup, he just went on to play for Arnett Gardens in the Jamaica Premier League, and just playing just like what 8 matches, he managed to join Charlton Athletic in England. So when you look at something like that, you see that Jamaica has base players or players to help bring up the national team. Young players, a matter of fact, can see quality and class that Jamaica has players. So them seeking players elsewhere is not really necessary, but I understand why they do it. But yeah, um, Ty, question, you have you ever heard of yeah, you would hear of him, but you have anything to say about the Jamaican youngster Kaim Dixon?
Sorry, my connection is giving problem. What's the name of the player?
Kaim Dixon.
Oh, Kaim. Oh my word. Oh, Garv would know my views on. Listen, the way that he played when he was in the Copa America, I was wondering why he wasn't getting a start over, for example, a Shamar Nicholson, even though he plays more of a as a wide forward in some games, like he's a right winger. But yes, he's a I think he has a bright future ahead of him. I mean, and it goes back to the point I was making there, and as I heard you said when I came back in a while ago, there is talent in Jamaica. We see it the at the schoolboy level. It's there, and what he did um at Arnett Gardens, for example, it's something that you cannot look down on. I mean, he's a very young player, and it shows that Jamaica has talent. So, and as you said, it doesn't really add up as to why the country per se, in terms of playing in the country, playing in the club, the country's Premier League, for example. But he's a quality player. I think he has a bright future ahead of him. He's on a good pedestal. I know he signed for Charlton Athletic, so he plays for them, or he's supposed to play for them. So I think he's a quality player. He has a bright future ahead of him. I do hope that no injury or anything creeps in, because a lot of the times that's what hampers a lot of these players' seasons and their career. So hopefully that doesn't happen. but he's a quality player. I mean, his technical ability is something that you cannot ignore. He's impressive. So I hope that he gets that opportunity again. I hope he will be a part of the squad going forward, because he's a quality player, and being a native Jamaican, that also helps things, because he's gonna understand the culture. He's gonna understand why the Jamaican fan base would want to see the country go back up the pedigree and be successful.
And yeah, when you talk about talent in coming from Jamaica and making it to the big leagues, as people call it here in Jamaica, but you will see players like um, Tyreek McGee once, when he was at his peak or at his highest, he was one of the best in Jamaica in the schoolboy football. He made it to and was able to sign a professional contract. And then you have Whisper now, the John Whisper Richards, signed for Chelsea, but currently playing at the under 21 level. Ty, you know that Chelsea is your go to. Do you think Whisper will get a breakthrough in the Chelsea squad?
That's a sticky one, because he picked up a big injury. He had to do surgery, and he was recovering. I'm not sure if he's back yet, but I know that he had. I think he got an injury that would keep him off for a while. Um, in the future, the long term future, I hope so. I'm not really sure, because looking at the talents that Chelsea continuously sign, the young talents, they're very close to his age or just above his age. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he gets that chance. He's a quality player. I mean, looking at how he plays for the academy, or the youth team, you can see that he's above that in terms of his capabilities. He's way beyond playing at that level, because the way that he plays, the way that he's able to be deployed in different positions. Not and I didn't realize that he was able to do this. I think at Chelsea, in the youth team, they would have used him as a fullback, which to me was surprising, because he's a forward. So that was somewhat strange to me. But the way that he shoots, his IQ, his football IQ is up there. It's quality. You can see that the way that he moves as well, that it's above that level. So he should get an opportunity. I do believe that the view that Chelsea may have had is that they probably send him out on loan, trying to get him some experience at in a more top flight league. But I think the injury that he would have picked up in around July, I believe, or the early parts of August, I don't know exactly. I think that would have really sent him back, because he would have had to do a surgery. So he's recovering from that surgery as well. So he hasn't had the opportunity to even play, or to even be given a chance on a Maresca, for example. So I hope he does, but looking at the signings that Chelsea have signed in particular, they have players like Esteval Willian. They have you know Kendry, who's, even though he's more of a midfielder, you have Neto and Felix and Kunku and all those signings. So it's gonna be difficult, but it's not impossible. It depends on if he's able to come back as a player similar to the way he was playing before, and if he's able to impress Maresca or impress other clubs, and he gets a loan and he comes back. But it's gonna be sticky. It's gonna be complicated, because Chelsea have this new philosophy of signing a bunch of young players, so it won't be easy.
Yeah, I heard you mentioned about the IQ of the Whisper, but when you have a agent or a manager like Craig Butler, It is expected of you from you've been playing for Phoenix Academy. It is expected of you to have that high IQ, no matter how young you are. Uh, Whisper, Leon Bailey. Yeah, you saw them out of Craig Butler's uh Phoenix Academy. But yeah, yeah, that's about it for today's show. Garvin, have anything you want to say or Ty?
It does look like Gavin has anything to say, so I'll just say this. Um, yeah, you know, in terms of the results for the schoolboy football, as you mentioned, you mentioned that they're going into the I believe second round soon. There's some results that still need to, well, there's some matches rather that need to be played, and then the results will determine who will well, for the Costa Cup, for example, they'll be going into the round 32, I believe, or something around that line. So that's something that has to be considered. The Reggae Boys, for example, it's gonna be interesting break for them, which is tomorrow. So I'm interested to see if who's gonna be playing in that game. There's some players that would have, to me personally, cemented their place in starting tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see if they get that chance again, or if there'll be a case where the team is rotated, because you have to. I think that the coach is gonna ensure that he probably didn't play, for example, like Mikel Antonio and all those players, because um the games are one that he has his eyes on, and trying to ensure that he values the right matches, because Honduras is the team that are neck on neck with Jamaica right now.
Yeah, I just want to say, you guys did a wonderful show today. To be quite honest, it was nice to see Ken, you know, step up to the plate, and Ty, as usual, my brother, always with the support. I really appreciate it. So for all the viewers, we just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Almost 20 you guys was watching earlier, so I really appreciate it, and I just want to say thank you. And this is the Reggae Boys Corner with the one and only Ken and Ty. Chelsea session. People, please go over, like, share, and subscribe over there. And the same with here. I just want to say thank you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Peace.